Welcome back to part 2 of our interview with Mackie Burt, author of the highly anticipated, soon-to-be-released first novel of the above series from Carthay Circle Publishing. So why write the novel? What was your inspiration?
Acting has always been what I wanted to do, so I knew I was going to move out to Los Angeles as soon as possible in my case.
Right.
And I thought, I didn't know how to write scripts, but I thought, okay, maybe I read enough that I might know a little bit what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. And so I just started.
Now, you said you wrote the book because you wanted to bring something with you when you came to Hollywood to say, here,
yes.
Here
I am.
Right, I've got something and I want to play this part.
Yeah.
Now, how did you get out to Hollywood?
I met a producer through one of my best friends, and I wrote him this letter that said, please help me any way you can. And he was so wonderful, and he helped me get out here.
Right.
I came out for 2 weeks with my mom, kind of showed around, you get a taste of the business. And then once I did, I was like, I'm not leaving. I'm coming here.
So nothing to do with the weather.
No, I actually miss the rain. That's my thing. Everybody's like, you're so weird, but no, I miss the rain. But
now, how long ago was this?
That was 3 years ago, 3.5. I was 16 when I went out. I went out for those 2 weeks, and during that time, I came up with the idea for my book, and I started writing it right when I got home.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it was like, it all fit together, because it was such it was the jump starter. I'd come out here, I was passionate, I had to do it.
But you were away from home, so
yeah.
A lot of your family's back east.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with the, being 3,000 miles apart?
When I first moved out, it was the end of the world. I cried for 3 weeks straight, and I would call my mom and I said, I don't understand. I'm being asked to choose between the two things I not only want but need in this world. It was, acting and my family. So I got over that, thank goodness. And it's moving out here by myself was the best thing because I grew up so much, dealing with I had to learn how to do my laundry.
I need my 8-year-old son to meet you.
Right.
And speaking of which, there has to be some people that young people who've already kind of know what you're doing.
Yeah.
It must be exciting to know that you could be sort of the next young adult novelist out there.
I always say, everybody will be like, this is so exciting, and it's kind of one of those things where I'll be driving and I'll have a moment where it hits me what's going on.
Sure.
And then there's other moments where I can't even, it's just I can't process it. Because for me, it's something that, this is something, I'm going to write a book, I'm going to make my own part. I believed it. But at the same time, part of you just can't imagine that it'll actually happen. And here I am, and things are manifesting, and it's too much.
Well, that's because you're the master of your own fate.
Right.
You're making this happen, and it's a very clear, clean message to everybody out there that either you can wait for the luck,
right,
or you can make your own career and pursue it, as much as you have.
Yeah.
It's a great message to put out there.
For me, I always felt like we have a purpose in life, and I love acting and I love writing, and I wanted to use those because I always feel like the best thing that I can do for the world would be just to make people dream. I just want people to think that things are possible.
You're going to make me cry.
Yeah, that's my goal.
Supposed to be the other way.
Right. I'll try. I can, as my cousin he used to open his eyes and he's like, I can cry, and looks up at the sun. He's a true actor.
Well, that's just an amazing philosophy to have.
Yeah, there's this quote that I remember hearing years ago. It says, it's hard to wait around for things that you know might never happen, but it's even harder to give up when you know that it's everything you want. And I kind of always kept that with me in the sense that these were things I had to do. So no matter how hard they were, I was going to do it. And I think that's important for everybody. I think we get caught up in these daunting tasks of that's impossible. But nobody knows.
So now you have almost a completed novel. You have people who are working on it. You got your editor. You got Barry, who you wrote to. You came out to LA. You're working together on this project.
Yeah.
So was this your end game? Was to have a novel just to sort of get your actress foot in the door, or sort of actress author foot in the door? Where are we going with this?
It changed because in the beginning it was primarily here's my part. Hopefully I've written some kind of vehicle to get me into acting. Right. But through the process, I've really found how much I like writing. And now I can't imagine not writing. But I do like them both to be. I guess now my ultimate goal would be to use both. because I don't see why I wouldn't at this point, because it's gotten me really far. And I think there's a level, my thing with acting is you don't get as much control over the parts you play or things like that.
Oh, of course not, yeah.
No, you get no say. So here's something, now there's a vehicle where I kind of can create stories.
So you could hold up the whole set and say to the director and producer, you know what? That's not how I wrote it.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Right. So
they always
take it from scene one and let's do this again.
I would love. I think I'd like to take a shot at it, but I don't know if I also am so close to it that I don't know if I could do it. I'd love to be consulting. I think is probably the best thing for me would be, so that I get to have a big voice in how it turns out. But I don't know. I am so close to it, so losing certain parts,
That's very
is
brave.
hard.
That's very brave of you to say, because a lot of people might not have that kind of maturity to go, well, it's something I have to write, and then next thing you know, you have a 4-hour movie.
Right, and look, I want it to be the best it can be, and I know I could write the best book, but maybe the script isn't for me. I'm sure one day I'll love to try to write, translate one of the stories into a script, but right now, I'll stick to just writing.